Damn, what's up, everybody? I ain't got the Rona. It's definitely I ain't got it.
He don't know if he got it wrong or
I
not
ain't
because
got
he
the
ain't been
Rona.
tested.
If you
But
don't
he
know,
had
now you know.
vaccination.
I've been
So-
sneezing because motherfucking where we was at. Okay, here, we back with us at Weddy's Barbecue. Damn, we got the same thing as last time. We got the rib tips with the smoked sausage.
Yeah,
And some beans. Got the beans right here. Look at this.
baked beans.
Yeah, baked beans. Motherfucking fly. It's juicy as fuck too. Ooh. Look at this. That's the beans. That's the beans. And we got bread. Yeah, look at this.
How and why his precocious only child, 6-year-old Timothy, could disappear without a trace.
So you think this was well thought out? I think it's, yeah, it was definitely well thought out.
Gotta get the bottom
Yeah,
part.
disappeared the way he did. That's definitely well thought out.
This is the juices out of it too.
Own mother, James's
Oh,
wife,
yeah.
Amy Kitson, in a shocking story that breaks on national television.
I don't know if y'all can see that too.
Timmy is found alive tonight.
And with the mystifying evidence,
Hey, can you put my bag? Can you put it on my lap? I need like some home
Get on my
shit.
damn nerves.
we
Nah, it's cool like
the
this.
shadow of a clue about the fate of
No.
her little boy.
No, I gotta take it off because I gotta eat with this. I don't want to
I
touch your
shouldn't.
bag.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
She amazing.
Little Timothy Kitson was
You man tell her
always
stop
the
to do
apple
things, she
of
still do
his
it.
eye.
So Tim was gregarious.
Babe, did you dip it in the sauce?
I'm going
A
to.
little bit.
I'm going to.
Always happy.
That shit annoying like
I
that.
was like,
That shit annoying. Look at that sauce. See, these are not juicy because I gotta drench it in there, but
not
look,
gonna fall through here.
these ones are juicy as fuck.
In the car as he drives into kindergarten early
Mix it.
in the morning in Aurora, Illinois.
Just gotta mix that
About
shit.
Timothy after school, we hopped out the back seat.
It's so good.
God is good. God is good.
That's
Thank you for this food. Thank you.
Timothy to this day.
Oh, there it is. See that?
Love you too, Dad, and I'll see you later. Okay.
Less than an hour later, a
Baby,
surveillance
crack me up.
camera captures Timothy's mother, Amy Kitson, as she signs him out of school, claiming a family
Want my
emergency.
bread?
It is the beginning of a tragic journey.
Mmm.
It's still
Want
unknown.
to turn it up a little bit, baby?
And as James returns to pick up Timothy after school, he has no idea how bad it is going to get.
I go picked him up from kindergarten and got to take him to daycare. So I go up by the school and the teacher goes, Timothy left at like 8:30. I'm like, what do you mean he left at 8:30? I'm like, oh, I want to see the logbook and who checked my son out of school because I'm like, supposed to be here. And
Alarmed, James checks back at home and at Amy's job, but there is no sign of his estranged wife or Timothy.
I need to figure out what's going on. I called Amy's cell phone a couple times. Always went to voicemail. I'm like, just tell me if you're fine. Just call me. What's going on?
So you spent that first night having no idea where they were.
Yeah, no idea where they were. I called her mom. I called her dad to see if she'd been there. And
You put the sauce
I'm like,
in there,
okay,
too.
she's upset me for some reason. So it's time to cool down. But, so the next morning comes around.
That right?
They're still not home.
Fold it like
So I
this.
called the police department and report
Juice down in
Amy
the
and
corner.
Timothy
They
missing.
did that shit right in
Another
there.
day passes with James left in the dark, and then, a sign of hope, Amy does not contact her husband, but she checks in with her mother.
She says, well, we're fine. We'll be home in a day or two, you know. Just like I just needed some time alone to figure out and try to think about how to approach this.
Amy also calls James's brother.
I have no idea what she called it, but you could hear Timothy in the background playing, hanging out.
But there is one part of that relayed conversation that will ring in James Pitson's ears for a long time to come.
What'd you say?
Timothy's fine. Timothy's belongs to me. Timothy and I will be fine. So that Timothy is safe.
Timothy belongs to me. Did your brother find that strange?
Yeah, he told me about it.
James admits he and Amy were struggling, but had no idea how much until the mystery unfolds later. At first, he figures police will soon find his wife and son. Then he can finally sit down with Amy and sort everything out.
At least you know that
They're
they're
together.
safe.
They're together and safe, and nothing can happen. And, yeah, so the cops were looking for him. I figured that everything would be fine, and we'd be one big happy family again.
And sure enough, 3 days after their disappearance, there is a knock on his door. It's the police, and they definitely have news. They have found Amy Pitson in nearby Rockford, Illinois, and she is dead by her own hand. Now James Pitson is reeling in shock.
The police officer said that they found Amy deceased. I was like, excuse me? I was like, what do you mean she's deceased? I was in total shock at the time, and they told me where she was found in a little cheap little motel.
How did Amy die?
Overdose.
She had a razor blade knife.
Razor blade. Supposedly, is it
Then the
real?
second
Is
piece
it a
of bad
suicide
news
or?
comes, and James's heart sinks.
Yeah, she killed
Little
the boy.
6-year-old Timothy was not with his mother, and he is nowhere to be
It's the
found.
beans.
And I'm like, well,
What is
there's
barbecue?
something going on. And you have
Some
to
fire
find
shit
Tim.
right
I
here.
mean, you have to find Tim.
It's the beans.
You just can't stop here.
It's been a week straight out of hell for James Pitson.
It was a very stressful, crazy time.
First,
I
his
like the
wife
beans.
Amy
You try the beans,
disappears with their only
You don't
child.
like them?
I like them. I didn't put them in my
6-year-old
sandwich though.
Timothy, her little pride and
That's
joy.
fire right there with my sandwich. Trying
Now,
to get like
3
me,
days
you
later,
feel me?
James learns that Amy
Gotta
is
eat what I
dead
eat, you feel
by
me?
suicide,
Get them
and
ketones.
Timothy vanished without a trace.
Why she did it,
telling
how
him.
she did it. How could she have done this?
That's all light work right here.
Where is Timothy at? That's the big question is, where is he?
Police immediately
This to
were
get
tracing
down right
Amy's
here.
journey with Timothy over those fateful 3 days. The trail from Aurora leads 30 miles east to the Brookfield Zoo, then north to the Key Lime Cove Water Resort, and then 160 miles northwest to Kalahari Resorts in Wisconsin, where a surveillance camera captures them checking out after their stay.
Timothy was following mom. Timothy was playing with looked like a semi-truck on the floor, driving on the floor.
My
Timothy
ass gonna
was
throw some beans
happy
on this shit.
and didn't seem to have any distress or anything.
She took him to what was probably the last vacation of certainly their lives together. And you see visuals of him knowing that his mother would soon kill herself and he would disappear. This is what is so haunting about this story.
Amy then heads 120 miles south back into Illinois. A security camera picks her up at a food market near the town of Rockford, but she is alone with no sign of Timothy. The next day, a maid finds her lifeless body in a nearby motel room.
She was definitely wrestling with the demons and the demons won. And they eventually won.
Yep, the
Police
demons
discover
got
a
you.
shocking suicide note on the table, triggering a mystery that haunts James every day.
What note did Amy leave at the motel?
She apologized for the mess she created and that Timothy was safe with people who loved him and he would never be found.
Oh,
She said Timothy is safe
Yes,
and will never be found.
safe with people who loved him and would never be found.
So basically, Amy just hands off Timothy to another person or another couple. Just, here you go.
Yeah, pretty much. That's from what I understand.
Crazy.
What kind of people are these that would just take a 6-year-old?
I have no idea. She might have been in contact with them for months. I don't know what she could have said to them to get somebody to do that. Take a child from his rest of his
I'm
family.
finna sneeze. Hell
Another
no.
note
Get a
from her
napkin.
mother, Alana Anderson,
Or your
was
elbow.
confounding.
Use your
On a
elbow.
phone interview
I'm
for the
good.
Nancy Grace show, Alana reads the letter on air shortly after Amy's
I'm finna
suicide.
sneeze.
So I've taken him somewhere safe. He will be well cared for and he said he loves you.
Oh damn. Nobody wanna see that.
Please know that there is nothing you could have said or done that would have changed my mind.
Cryptic words that only a dead woman can decipher.
The note to me is probably the saddest part of this whole story because it's almost like she's teasing the family, not giving them closure, it perhaps is the cruelest part of this. Because now we
It's
don't know
bad.
what happened to him. It gives them hope, but yet, where has that hope gone?
But it is also known that Amy struggled with depression and had survived at least one suicide attempt in the past, leading to speculation about what might have really happened to Timothy.
We know that mothers can kill their children, even mothers who love their children. We know from other stories we've heard. We can't understand somebody who's struggling with mental illness and what they can or can't do. And
You want your other bread?
it's hard for us to understand that, but I don't think it's out of the realm
I'll
of
get another pair of
possibility.
bread.
Could she have been in such a
You got
dark
to.
place that she convinced herself the best place for Timothy was to leave this earth as well?
I've talked to a few people about that, psychologists and stuff like that. All of them have said if she was going to take Timothy's life, she would have taken Timothy's life first, then hers and Timothy would be in the same room or the same vicinity as she did. And not take his life someplace else and go somewhere else. I can't see her doing that, taking his life. Just not her.
Police know that Amy bought Timothy clothes and toys on the road, like these samples, none of which were ever found.
I mean, his backpack's missing, the cars, no clothing has been found.
They also know that in the months before her suicide, she made 2 unexplained driving trips to the same area where Timothy went missing.
Because Amy drove to the area where he disappeared before, I can only conclude that this was a very pre-planned event that perhaps gives hope to the family that this really was something that she thought out carefully, including the note she left that said he's safe and with someone who will care for him.
An inspection of Amy's SUV by police shows that she had pulled off an unpaved road somewhere on her final journey, backing into a field and leaving grass and dirt under the rear bumper.
It was on a gravel blacktop road. That's where she was. That's where the switch happened.
But alarmingly, investigators also find dried blood on the back seat of Amy's car. The family says it's a false lead, the result of a nosebleed from Timothy months before that road trip. But cops conduct an exhaustive search for the boy in some of the remote areas along Amy's long-distance route.
They narrowed it down to a certain geography, hoping that that would give them clues, but there was no body found. Obviously, that's what they were looking for, but nothing was ever found in that particular case.
And then, what seems to be a huge break in the case, Amy's cell phone is found on a roadside and turned into police.
They were very excited. They really thought this might be the break this case
Baby, look
needed
at
to
this.
find that little boy.
On me.
And I know
Juicy too.
they were very disappointed when, after all the information came in off that cell phone, there was nothing there, not one
Juicy.
clue.
The questions are
You
many,
know what else is-
and the answers are few, including why Amy would even consider such a desperate act in the first place. James tells us it's a question that eats away at him all the time. He worries if it was because of a problem in their marriage
You
years
recording.
prior to Timothy's disappearance.
A couple years before this happened, I caught her
You want to
texting
be
and
in this,
emailing
babe?
her ex-husband. And,
Come be in this.
yeah,
one.
I blew up about that. And I go, you need to choose on where you want to be. And I go, I'll get custody of Tim, and you
I
can
ain't
go
ready.
do whatever you want. You want to be with him?
Y'all gonna
there
fall in
for
love.
the-
I'm gonna have to kick your ass.
But she decided to stay.
Yeah, she decided to stay.
And I'm dead ass.
All who want to see me
It's now
pay,
been 6
Cash App $1.
years since
Shit,
Timothy
price.
has
when I
gone
get to
missing.
100, I'll reveal
Today he would
myself.
be 12 years old, perhaps looking something like this computer-generated age
Oh, wow,
progression
look.
image from the Center for Missing and Exploited Children, as the search for him goes on.
The Aurora Police Department did not sit down for an interview, but they did provide Crime
He
Watch Daily
still
with
ain't
this
found.
statement that reads, in part,
But
although
you know
we
how
have
old
not
he is
been
now? He probably don't
successful
even
in
look like that
locating
no
him
more.
to date, our
You
resolve
hear
to
me?
bring Timothy home to his family remains undeterred.
You hear me? He probably don't even look like that no more.
And James Pitts,
Growing
That's a
up?
progression photo.
Amy Best, insists that she would never harm Timothy under any circumstances.
I know he's alive. He's alive somewhere. Amy would never do anything to hurt Timothy.
That boy ain't alive.
Her little prince.
And he continues to hope that someday, soon he will get another knock on the door. This time, with the best news of his life.
Every day I get up and check my phone and
That's him, right?
wait for the detective
That's
to say,
that.
"Hey, found Timothy here." It's gonna be a glorious day when he comes home.
Glorious day. No, it's not, buddy.
Just can't wait. It's gonna be happy. He's gonna cry a
Last
lot.
time.
Gonna cry a lot when he comes home.
I'm done with this. But, no, we can't forget about the beans.
Here's another look at Timothy Pitson when he disappeared. And here's an age progression picture of what he might look like now. Anyone with information on this case is asked to call the Aurora Police at 1-630-256-5500.
That's sad.
Mm-hmm. I'd be mad as fuck. It's my son.
One man, 4 wives, a suspicious death,
wives.
and a disappearance. You were almost glued to the TV to see what's going to happen next. What else can happen? The life and crimes of Drew Peterson have made international headlines.
He says he believes that he helped you dispose of your wife's body. Can you at least respond to that?
But now,
You were able to stay anonymous in an insane situation.
exactly. Speaking publicly for the first time in this Crime Watch Daily exclusive.
I wanted the first time that I came out to be important.
Drew Peterson's own sister-in-law is breaking her silence to talk about what it was like to live under the same roof with the killer.
Did you believe he was responsible for Stacy's disappearance?
Before, former police sergeant Drew Peterson was a household name for all the wrong reasons. Norma Peterson knew him as the sometimes over-the-top brother of her husband Paul.
He is who he is, as you learn from hanging around with Drew or spending any amount of time with him. He pretty much goes by his own rules, always has.
Especially, it seems, when it came to women.
There was no amount of self-control. He just figured, okay, you know, each time he had remarried, he probably went 10 years younger, 10 years younger. He was married 4 times.
First, there was wife Carol. After 2 kids and 6 years of marriage,
Damn.
she caught Drew cheating, and that was the end. Then there was Vicky. She lasted 10 years before asking for a divorce when Drew started dating this woman. Her name was Kathleen Savia. Kathleen's sister Susan still remembers when the two got together.
She was real excited about meeting a police officer, and she thought Drew
Before-
was really
After
nice
this, yeah.
looking and very,
You fool?
very nice.
But he was also very, very attached.
Well, she didn't know about that he was married. She thought that he was separated or divorced.
And according to Susan, Kathleen didn't find out until much later, only after Drew made her wife number 3.
She had 2 beautiful children, boys. She loved him with all her heart. Those were her boys.
But by most accounts, her relationship with Drew deteriorated fast.
Well, I would see black and blue marks on her, and I asked her what happened, and she'd say that she just bruises real easy. She bumped into something.
Then after 11 years of matrimony, Kathleen caught Drew in a very familiar position.
Someone said that everyone knew that he was dating Stacy.
As in Stacy, soon to be Peterson, wife number 4.
When Stacy first met
Damn.
Drew,
You don't remember Stacy Peterson?
I didn't like him. 'Cause
She went missing.
She did?
It went viral, her
phone calls
case.
when we were together, and when she turned 17, I knew Drew. She had an apartment, and it was fully furnished, and it was not real good.
Drew's sister-in-law says her husband wasn't too thrilled either.
What did Paul say? He was like, I have daughters this age. How can you do this? But he was going to pretty much do what he wanted to do anyway. He was a beautiful 17-year-old girl. You know, how am I supposed to say no?
When Kathleen found out, she hired a divorce attorney, then sent Drew to live with Stacy.
He had literally bought a house right around the corner so that he could be in the same neighborhood as his kids.
However, the details of the divorce settlement with Kathleen had still yet to be finalized.
he was self-producing.
I'm finna read that shit.
I believe
This shit
has
long.
2 children, and
This long.
off the house. Basically, it would ruin him.
Instead, a different kind of fear.